What's up guys, welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I'm Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video we're going to be discussing who could replace Jesse Marsch at Leeds United. Before we do get into the video, please make sure to like the video, comment down below and also subscribe to the channel. Go over and follow the Instagram and the TikTok Daniel Talks Football on both. Right, we are back. I have three managers in front of me that could all replace Jesse Marsch at Leeds. If you don't know, Jesse Marsch was sacked by Leeds earlier on this week after a really poor showing versus Nottingham Forest at the weekend. The Leeds hierarchy have decided to act now and sack Marsch after a January transfer window in which they spent a lot of money and he brought in a lot of players he wanted. People like Woba, who he had at Salzburg, and Weston McKennie, who is a fellow countryman with the US. Marsch is now back on the market and Leeds are looking for a new manager. So who could this be? Option number one is Ange Postecoglou. Now Postecoglou is currently the manager of Celtic. He is Greek and is 57 years old. He's got a 52.81 win percentage in his whole career. He plays a 4-3-3 attacking system and has got 27 wins from 35 games so far this season. So has been playing really well with the Celtic side. Yes, you've got that Scottish League tax in there, and that is something I do want people to remember. He's coming from the Scottish League. Managers can look a lot better in the Scottish League than they actually are. But they can still also be excellent managers. So I've got two managers from both sides of the argument to back this up. First of all, Steven Gerrard looked really good with that Rangers side. Obviously took them to winning the SPFL and then went to Villa and just was not good enough. Didn't make the grade. Yet looked really good out in Scotland. So there's the side that, you know, you've got that Scottish tax and you need to sort of take that into account when hiring a manager. But then you've also got Brendan Rodgers, who did well at Celtic, did really well at Celtic, went to Leicester and had two very good seasons at Leicester, getting them into the top six, breaking up that top six and also winning an FA Cup. I understand things aren't going excellently for him now, but he did do really well when first taking the gig on. Postecoglou managed to rebuild the Celtic side from a side that was ageing and was not going in any direction after Lennon left. He looks like a really good manager, and I think Postecoglou would be an excellent option. He seems to be the Leeds fans' favourite, the one that they want to get into the club most. So we'll have to see if this one happens. He is in employment, obviously, though, so there would need to be a payout to Celtic. Next up, we have a man that isn't employed. Leeds fans know him very well. It is Marcelo Bielsa. Now, obviously, he was sacked by Leeds just under a year ago. He's still adored by the fan base, and I've seen quite a few fans wanting to get Bielsa back. He obviously got them promoted from the Championship and was in charge of the Lily Whites for nearly 4 years. Managed 170 games with Leeds with 1.61 points per match. The pros to this, usually you would say, is, oh, you know, he's coming into a group that he already knows. This is not the case. This could be taken as a positive or a negative. He would not be coming into a group of Leeds players here that he knows. There are a lot of new individuals in this squad. You know, you look at the January transfers, Woba, was it Wahi? The striker. Rutter and McKennie. And you also got all the summer transfers in there, obviously, of people like Ederson. You could go, alright, you know, these are good players, they'll fit in well under Bielsa. No. Bielsa was always really careful about the players he wanted to sign at Leeds. We all remember the links with Ederson in Bielsa's final January transfer window. Bielsa did not want Ederson in the club because he didn't think he would work hard enough. We know Bielsa wants grafters, and I'm not sure if the players that Marsch has ended up bringing in would graft for Bielsa. It could possibly work short term up until the end of the season, giving the fan base a boost. But I look at it long term and I think it won't work. The obviously thing is, though, even short term, these players, they would have a lot demanded of them physically. And are they going to be able to give that to Marcelo Bielsa? I'm not sure. Things did turn sour for Bielsa in, you know, his final few months at Leeds. And we all remember that sort of run of 3 games where he conceded, I can't remember how many goals it was, but was it 13, 14 goals in his final 3 games as Leeds manager? Bielsa was a really good manager. But I just don't know if this is going to work. So I would not go for Bielsa. I would go for Postecoglou or Arne Slot. Slot is the current manager of Feyenoord and is the bookies' favourite to take over at Leeds as of recording. He finished top of his Europa League group with Feyenoord and is also currently top of the Eredivisie. He's got a career win percentage of 58.29%. 102 wins of his 175 games as manager. So, has won, a lot of games. There's only 73 games he's managed that he hasn't won. The issue here is he is a young manager. He's 44 years old. And not as young as the manager we're going to be discussing on the channel tomorrow, who is currently at Stade de Reims. But 44 is still really young for a manager, especially a manager who has not had any Premier League experience, is currently in the Eredivisie, and that is a very different game to the one in the Premier League. He would need to come in and hit the ground running and start getting results with this Leeds side, and I'm not quite sure if he could do that. As a long-term manager, possibly if you could bring him in the summer, I think that would be an excellent appointment, but right now I'm not quite sure. That's why I would go for Postecoglou. I understand that there are risks to take with this managerial appointment, but if you want to bring the manager now, you go for Postecoglou. If you want to wait until the summer, I think Slot would be an excellent option, but now I'd go and get Postecoglou. If you are just looking for a short-term interim guy, there are people available on the market that could do this, absolutely. Would Lampard maybe? Gerrard's obviously available. There's anybody you can think of is available on the market who could come in and take this job. Nuno's available on the market. He could probably keep this Leeds side up. There are options if you do just want to get somebody in until the end of the season. But if you want to get a long-term manager in now, I think Postecoglou's your guy. Who do you think should be the new Leeds manager? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. See ya!